Hello everybody, this is John Kay from PhotoBiz.com, and today we're going to take a look at the PhotoBiz Form Builder. The Form Builder is nice because it allows you to create forms for essentially anything that you need. This can be contact page forms, contest entry forms, online contracts, order forms, registration forms, mini session forms, you name it, you can do it with the PhotoBiz Form Builder. And what's nice is that the forms can be part of your website, or they can be a standalone page if it's something that you want to keep private from the front end of your website. So let's take a closer look here at how the form builder works and how it shows in your account and whatnot. So this is the first page that you're going to see when you log into your PhotoBiz account, and you'll see right on the front page, you're going to see new notifications. So this is going to show you form submissions, if you're using the scheduler, what appointments you have, proofing event comments, orders through your e-commerce, any conversations you've got. Also shows email campaigns and a refer friend program. So anybody that you've referred to us that's signed up, it'll show you how many referrals you have, along with how much money we've given you. It's $25 each. So if you're using PhotoBiz, make sure you click that share with friends button, and you can share out a link that anybody that signs up, you get a credit for it. It's a real easy way. It's our way of saying thank you. So let's take a look at the forms. And so on the left side of your dashboard, you'll see all the different tools you have with your PhotoBiz website package, the builder, the e-commerce, and so on. The section we want to look at today is the forms. And so I'm going to click on forms, and you'll see I have a whole bunch of different categories set up here in my account. At PhotoBiz, I do a couple different things. I teach these webinars, but I also work on our sales team. I work on our SEO team. And so, I use these forms quite often. And some of the ways that we use them internally may not really apply specifically to what you're doing, but it gives you an idea how you can use them. So I'm going to reference a couple of those forms as we're walking through things today, so you can see what they look like when they're actually out there for the world. So right now in my category, it defaults to, I don't have any forms set up. I did this intentionally so you can see everything from start to finish. And so we'll click on the new form button here, and you'll see that you've got pre-built forms you can choose from, along with some designer element ones that we've set up for you. You can customize all of these. So these are really just a way to get started, and then you can go in and format these, insert any information you want to them. And you'll see that they range from things like contact forms, things like sessions or events, even the simple one, contracts and agreements. You've got lead capture stuff. There's a lot you can do. Payment forms, so if you want to take payments through your forms, very easy to set up. The newsletter signup is particularly nice, because if you do newsletters and you want to send out an email campaign, you can do that through your PhotoBiz account, and these forms go right here. A lot of clients I talk to have been able to consolidate multiple memberships into their PhotoBiz account, save a little bit of money versus doing things a la carte through different providers. Also, there's one less password you have to remember, which I think we all agree on is pretty great. So let's take a look at the form builder first. So we're just going to choose this simple contact form. A lot of times this is what clients will use for their contact page. And so when you open your form, you'll see you've got your different form fields. The first thing I want to point out is the tag section. So tags are nice because you can use these tags to keep your submissions organized into a list. So what does that mean? If you're doing email campaigns, if you're doing remarketing, if you want to see who all has filled out and completed a form, tags allow you to do that and categorize your contacts very easily. Keep in mind, any submission that comes through your forms is automatically captured and stored into a list for you and into a database. So you have that built into your PhotoBiz account. You have contacts, which allow you to track the life cycle of your customers. And so tags make it really nice to do that. So for this particular form, let's just say we're going to make this for a contact page for a website. So we'll say contact page. And so now what that means is that any submission that comes through this form, once we hit save changes, will automatically be tagged with that tag. Perfect. This is great because, like I said, you can use these for remarketing and email lists. You can also rename your form here. So by default, it's named Simple Copy. For this one, we'll just change it to Contact Page. And so now when you go back and you look in your different folders and you're looking at your categories and you want to see what forms are located in there, you can easily say, okay, this is my contact page. I don't need to mess with this one, or I need to change something on it. You've got your different fields. So by default, with this one, you've got your first name, last name, email, and phone number. These are fields that are requesting information from your customer. So if we just click this little preview link here that you see below the name, it'll show you what all this form is going to look like. So we can say, okay, my name is John, and my email is johnk@photobiz.com. Email, phone number 866-463-7620. Testing. And so this allows you, like I said, to set up a really simple form. This one, like I said, would be a contact page if we were going to use this on the site. Now, one thing you can do is you can make fields required or not. One thing I typically recommend for a contact page, set that phone number option for optional. Make that so that it's not required to submit your form. The less requirements you have to complete a form, the better when it comes to lead generation forms or lead capture forms, because a lot of people out there are hesitant to put in a phone number. So, have someone fill out the form, submit it. If they don't give you a phone number on that initial inquiry, that's okay. Because you can always schedule a phone call with them down the road. Hey, thank you for getting in touch. I'd love to talk about what your photography needs are. Let's set up a phone call. What's the best number to reach you? This will make it so that, it's easier for people to get in touch. One thing that we always look at with the SEO team is lead capture forms that require too much information. And so, as long as you have it where people can get in touch with you without having to complete a ton of different fields, that makes it much easier. On the right column here, you're going to see that there's quite a few different options for different fields you can use within the builder and request different information for people. One section that I like to point out too is the contacts, because this works with your CRM. And so you can get things like billing information, shipping information, company and birthday information, a lot of different stuff you can set up there. The miscellaneous section will also have things like your signature panel, payment information. If you want to take payments through the forms, this allows you to do that. And so all these options are available within the form builder. Some other really nice things you can do with the form builder as well. You can go in and you can customize the colors and the different design elements of your form. So if we click on the paintbrush icon here at the top, you'll see you've got a ton of different settings. You can control the width of your form. You can also go in and control form field styles. So by default, our form that we're using here has the field sections just within the form itself, but you can do things like make the field labels outside of the form. So let's just go ahead and change that real quick, refresh so you can see how this looks. You can also do it with the icon. I like the icon one personally. I think it puts a nice touch on there. If we reload, you'll see it puts your form field name inside the field, but also it has a little icon that corresponds with what type of information you're asking for the customer to submit. And so I think that gives it a little bit more of a polished look. But again, you've got control over this. You can set these to whatever you prefer, and it makes it very, very easily. Other things you can control are like your form field and button design. So you can choose if you want square, round, flat, ghost, underline. There's a lot of different options on here. You can also put borders around your form if you prefer. So quite a few options in here. The colors block allows you to go in and change the colors on this. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the color section here is that if you're using the form as a standalone landing page, these colors will work perfect for you. If you're actually embedding the form within your site, your PhotoBiz site's going to override these color options, so it's going to look in line with the rest of your branding on your site. But you can, like I said, you can go in and change these as you need to, depending on how you're using the form. And then you also can do a background. So you can use the custom background if you have a PNG or JPEG that you want to upload, or if you prefer, you can use our background library. And we've got a lot of curated designs that we've already made for you if you want to use those, or just stick with the no background as well. So you've got some options with the designs on these. Another section you want to look at here is your edit settings here. So you can go in and in the settings, one thing that I get quite a few questions about is whether or not there's an automated response to somebody's email. And so what you can do is you can go in and you can configure this so that there's a custom thank you message, which will also show as a subject line on an email, and then a custom message in it as well. So by default on this one that we have, it's for the contact page. You'll see you've got thank you for contacting us, and then there's a short message in there. You can add a personalized message to that. Another thing you can do is insert links. So if you want to give away like a free download, you can put a link in to download it there. And then you also got the email thank you message. So that's something that not only will it show as the pop-up on the site, but also you can have it send out a copy. One place that's really particularly useful is if you have a questionnaire or something that you send your clients, you can set that email thank you message to yes. And so when they fill out and submit that form, not only do you get the notification email saying, hey, John filled out this form, but your client will also get a copy of their submission. So if you ever if you're working through something and you ever need to collaborate on anything, or you have questions on it, you can say, hey, if you go back to your submission here on question 5, I just wanted to clarify this answer. We use that especially with our design services where, if we get a questionnaire from a client, we're not sure about something, we can go back and, hey, let's take a look at this together so that we make sure we're on the same page. It makes it very helpful for you. The email notification section here, this shows you where you can set up to receive notifications whenever someone fills these forms out. This is particularly useful if you have more than one person that needs to receive these. If you have, let's say you have a studio manager that you want to get your customer questionnaires, very easy to have them fill that out and submit it. Just separate those different email addresses with the comma. And like I said, it'll go to you and whoever else is on the account or whoever else you want to have access to these particular submissions. The custom confirmation page URL, this is cool because you can redirect people into a specific page. So if you have, let's say, a style guide that you want people to have once they fill out a form and submit it, you can put in a link to that landing page on here, or if it's a PDF, you can put a link to the PDF and it'll automatically point people over to that once they fill it out. And then your submissions limit and expiration date section here, these are really cool because submission limits are great if you're doing like a workshop or you have a limited number of seats for a particular thing that you're doing, and you can say, hey, I've only got 10 spots available here. Once these have been filled out, and once this form has been filled out that many times and they submit it, it can't be filled out anymore. Same thing applies for the expiration date. If you're doing something like a giveaway or a contest entry, you can set an expiration date on the form so that it can only be filled out and completed up to a particular day. And that gives you, like I said, a little more control over how forms are being used if it's for something specific to an event. Any changes you make on this page, just make sure you go down and you click the Save Changes button here at the bottom. It'll automatically apply those for you. And so, that's how you can set up these forms. Again, if we look at we go back a step and we go to the new form button, you'll see you've got a whole bunch of different ones that you can use. Model release and event contracts are both two that I get quite a few questions about, especially with the signature panel. We take a look at the model release one here. You'll see we've got some information pre-built into this for you. We've got some stock terms in here. The nice thing is if you need to add your own terms here, you can replace this very easily with just your own copy from whatever contracts you have. The signature panel is particularly nice here. So if we pull a preview of this, you'll see we can put in our name, and I can put in my email, phone number, whatever information you require from your client, you can have in here. And then you can have your terms, and then the signature panel is right here. Your clients can complete that, put in today's date, and submit it. And so, by doing this, you'll see you've got the contact message. They can view their submission. And so there's a lot that these do for you. And again, everything that gets submitted to these forms, it's all captured and stored for you. You'll see your notifications here, and you can go back and see anybody that's filled out any of your forms. And so it makes it very easy to go back and reference. That's also nice because it creates a safety net for you. If for some reason your email is not working one day, or your a notification goes to spam or anything like that, you always know, hey, if I have something come through my site, I can always go back and reference it. It's also particularly useful if you have something that you hear from an inquiry and then they don't hear back for 6 months, and all of a sudden they pop back into your inbox. You can go back into your contacts and find that email address and see what they were talking about without having to search through your inbox and trying to find an email from quite a while ago. Again, that's all. That's your form builder, and like I said, it's a very powerful tool. It's all built right into your account, so it's not something that you have to pay extra for or anything, and they can really be used however you prefer to use them. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to get in touch with us. We're more than happy to help you out. Um, if you're already a PhotoBiz customer, give us a call, 866-463-7620. If you don't have time to give us a call, we have our live chat. If you look down in the bottom right of your PhotoBiz control panel, you can get in touch with our support team. The live chat hours are 9:30 to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then if you're kind of a DIYer and you don't want to interact with anybody, we have our PhotoBiz Assistant, which has some really great video tutorials. You can also find our contact information there. And if you don't have time, submit us a ticket. If you prefer email, you can get in touch with us via the support ticket system, and our team will get back to you with any answers that you have there. So yeah, I hope that you found this useful, and this will be available on demand. And yeah, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for choosing PhotoBiz.